What's up, Chicago? It's your man, Maze Jackson, about to go live at AM 560 out here in Elk Grove Village. How about the fact that the station manager is from Bolingbrook until the world blows up? So I am doing one of the most conservative talk shows in the country, as well as we'll be broadcasting nationally. Been a pretty big week. If you are out there, I want to encourage you to take a moment, share the live broadcast. We are about to go live, and I want to just encourage everyone to share the live broadcast. Live at AM 560. The Answer. If you're out there, what's up, Juan? How are you, man? Appreciate you tuning in. It was great having you on the show. Keep these conversations going. We are going to be talking about the violence in Chicago. What's up, Jeff Coleman? How are you, brother? I appreciate you tuning in as well. Yolanda Yo, appreciate you. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share with your friends and family. This ought to be an interesting conversation. I think that people would tend to think that I'm on the lighter side of things, but realistically, I'm on the more conservative side of things. We're gonna talk. Whoops. Thanks, Ronald, for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate it. Jeff, I will tell Joe you said hello as well. Not a problem. Do me a favor. Take a moment, share the broadcast. It's your man, Maze Jackson, live at AM 560, The Answer. Whew. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? What you thinking? Who's out there rocking with me right now? We're about to get it started, I think, guys. All right, we're about to go live. Here we go. Can I leave this here?
Sure.
Okay. What's up, Eric? Oh, no, I'm talking to my Facebook Live audience. I'm sorry. Where do you want me?
Right here.
Okay.
And here's the deal. You need Unyielding. Their catalog is huge, and it's full of high-quality products. They offer same-day shipping of more than 27,000 industrial products, and Unyielding's customer service is second to none. For all of your shipping and industrial product needs, contact Uline. Call them today at 1-800-295-5510.
You've got a volume control for your headphones right there.
Uline.com/Walsh. That's ULINE.com/Walsh.
I might even have you scoot over a little here.
Uline takes care of business owners big and
first.
small.
Okay.
1-800-295-5510. Hey, my wife Helene and I love to cook, and more importantly, we love to eat. So when the folks from Blue Apron reached out to me, man, I jumped at the chance to work with them.
What's up, Aaron? How you feeling, man?
Who's Blue Apron? Well, they're the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. They want to make incredible home cooking available to everyone. Here's how it works. You go to their website.
All right, guys. This ought to be interesting. I'm going to be doing a little conservative talk radio with Joe Walsh. This is a new segment he's doing called Black and White, so maybe we can get some real conversations and some real discussions going on. I can imagine they're going to probably push the buttons, but I'm going to have a real conversation. What's up, Eric? How you feeling, man? Aaron Travis, what's up, man? Shout it. Can y'all take a moment, share the broadcast? Share the broadcast. Tune in on the radio station to make the numbers go up. What's up, Jeff Coleman? Who else is up there? Yeah.
Blue Apron, baby, a better way to cook.
Do me a favor.
You're not getting a great night's sleep. I suggest you order a My Pillow today and start the year off right. My Pillow has a patented interlocking fill.
I think I can do that. I'll probably forget that, but I think I can do that. Maze, I'm not a radio guy. I still don't understand this damn thing. Hey, what time are you on?
I am on Mondays 3 times a day at 9:20 a.m., 5:20 p.m., and 11:50. And then I do the social media question of the week every Thursday at
Social
8
media
a.m.
question of the week.
Yep, on the Matt McGill Morning Show.
All right. So where you're sitting right now, this mic is just kind of blocking your face. So I don't know if you want to move your camera here.
Okay.
That way we'll have a better...
You tell me where you want me to sit and I'll work around you.
All right.
I'm your guest.
Hey, and Maze, there's no science to this. This is something my wife's been after me for 3 years to do. It's something I want to do. I'm just lazy. I'm just going to start it. I just want a black guy and a white guy, or a black girl and a white girl. I just want us talking about stuff.
You know what? And I think
That's
that
all.
is what I enjoy.
That's all.
I think that we have got this groupthink going on that gets us to no solutions. And so often we have to talk so politically correct that we can't ever really address the real issues. So I'm happy to have the conversation.
45 seconds here.
got him on
Yeah,
there?
let me.
Tell me
I'm
where.
gonna move this back here. I don't want to.
I'm good.
I
You
don't wanna block
get
your
yours.
viewers.
Don't you worry. You tell me, and
All
I'll
right.
do whatever
And
you
then
do.
you know microphones. So I don't need to tell you how to
Move his
talk
mic
into a
down a
microphone.
little. Okay. And Maze, can you hear? Your volume should be down to the right. Okay, we're going to air this on, we're starting in 20 seconds. We're going to air this on our national show and on the Chicago show. I'll give you those times.
Awesomeness.
So we're just going to have fun.
Okay.
And maybe we'll... Okay, here we
Free 800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Voila. Hey, Joe Walsh, former Congressman Joe Walsh, back on the air with you this Thursday, and I'm excited. Follow me on Twitter at WalshFreedom. I'm excited because we're just going to start something today that I want to do like once a week or once every couple of weeks. There's nothing fancy about it. I'm calling it black and white. I want to get somebody black into my studio. I'm a white guy, and I want us just talking about some issues. Issues that I think matter, issues that I don't know, and maybe they should matter. We're calling it black and white. To start, I've got an amazing guy in my studio right now with me. Let's make sure we can hear him. Maze Jackson. Maze, welcome.
Joe, thank you for having me, and thank you to your audience for. I'm happy to be here at the answer.
By the way, that is a radio voice. Let me explain. Maze is on Mondays on WVON right here in the city of Chicago, 1690 a.m. He's on at 9:20 a.m. and 5:20 in the afternoon and 11:50 at night. He's also in charge of the social media question of the week on WVON every Thursday. But again, somebody you should listen to and follow. If you want to follow him on Twitter, it's at MazeJack.
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 MazeJac.
MazeJac. Maze, welcome. I want to just get a start. So I'm going to throw something at you, and let's bat it around.
Okay.
Violence in this city.
Violence in this city.
Rahm Emanuel, I think I heard a couple hours ago, said, okay, Trump, maybe bring the feds in. I don't know that he knows what that means. What do we do about this?
You know, I think that I'm always worried. Why is the answer always additional law enforcement? You know, I would have thought that our mayor would have taken this as an opportunity to provide a thoughtful response to address the real issues, the systemic issues that plague the black community. And
What are they?
You know, I think that we have a tragedy in unemployment in our community. You think about Chicago being the worst state for black employment in the country. Yeah. When you talk about the record levels of violence and and then the poor educational opportunities that then lead into that, you know, I think that President Trump has some actual opportunities, some actual solutions that can be beneficial to our community. And I would have loved for our mayor to have a thoughtful solution to it, to give her.
That voice belongs to Maze Jackson. He's on WVON in Chicago every Monday. Check him out, 1690 a.m. Maze, to that point you just made right there, I've heard some black leaders offended, and look, Trump's not the most articulate guy in the world, but offended by Trump's focus on Chicago carnage and violence. And maybe he is awkward about how he talks about it, but are you bothered that he's talking so much about it?
No, you know, I am not bothered by the fact that he's talking about it. I think he needs to be educated on the issue and educated on the proper language. But here's what I find interesting is that President Trump is talking about it while everyone else that is supposed to be concerned about it has their heads in the sand, is not paying attention. No one wants to really talk about the violence that is going on in the community. So you got everybody walking around. They're still having fundraisers. They're still having a great time. Like while the city is burning, the mayor he flies to New York to talk to President Trump about protecting sanctuary cities. Where are the sanctuaries for black people in the city of Chicago? Who's worried about those? We're talking about dreamers. Well, I said this morning on WVON, what about the blackers? Right? Now, I know that sounds, it may not be politically correct, but when does the city ask about, okay, what are we going to do to address this problem? We are worried about providing college scholarships for undocumented immigrants when we have failing schools in Chicago that we are ignoring. So, I find it a bit hypocritical right now.
So, and maybe your and my language would be different. I'm not very politically correct. I think if you're here in this country, you are an illegal. Many people call them undocumented immigrants. Where, though, Maze, is the black community on this issue? Because you talk about the black unemployment rate in Chicago and elsewhere in the country. It seems like, Maze, we got a lot of Democrat politicians who are so dang hung up on making sure the illegals or the undocumented immigrants are taken care of. Where are blacks on that issue?
So, you know what, Joe? I'm going to let you use the illegals. But here, let me say this. I'm going to try to, I'm not politically correct, but I'm going to try and keep it framed. Yeah. Let me just say this. There's not really anybody that calls into my radio station and says, hey, let's protect the people that don't live here. When I drive through my community and I go to a work site, I tend to count. And so when I count on 55th and King Drive, there are 20 workers, 4 of them black, 4 of them white, 12 of them Latino, and you find the one black guy, and guess what he's doing? He's holding the sign. And so meanwhile, in that same community, while people who don't live in this country are getting opportunities, here we got black folks that are unemployed on the same corners that they're rebuilding.
I've got a lot of blacks in Chicago who listen to my show, not nearly as many as you do. But it's tradition. I probably have much more of a white audience, and Maze, most of my white listeners will say, I'm tired of listening to these black leaders say we need more money, we need more government to do something about the violence. When's the black community going to take care of themselves? If you were to talk to my listeners, how would you respond to that?
I would talk to your listeners, and this is what I would say. I would say that if we want the opportunity to participate in the economic largesse of this country, right? I don't think that any of us necessarily want a handout, but because of the way that it has benefited our party, the Democratic Party, we have been more focused on providing programs that keep us subsistent on the government instead of showing people how if they participate, they can actually benefit. I tell people all the time, the only people when I go down to Springfield I see standing in line for for their child care or for all that tends to be black folks. You know what I see white folks saying? Give me a jobs bill. Give me a capital bill. Let me build another road. Let me get my union job, and I will take care of my own family. And I'm suggesting that if we get away from the premise of this dependency, because, I would tell your listening audience that if you gave black people the opportunity to participate in just the rebuilding of their own communities, there would be a lot less burden on society. And you'd start to see people stop saying, oh, what can I get? Because again, you've got years and years of this dependency, which has been bred by my party.
So maybe you just answered it. I believe the Democrat Party has purposely made blacks slaves to big government dependency. Purposely. Democrats have. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I would say that it is very beneficial for Democrats to control the programs that our community has been taught to rely upon, right? And so I do believe that there is a tremendous benefit to keeping us dependent upon those programs. I don't think, but it's funny that they tell us don't talk to Trump. We shouldn't be talking to Trump. But then I see everybody else going up and down the elevator because they're taking care of their interests. Yeah. Meanwhile, again, our mayor flies in the midst of everything that is going on in Chicago, flies to talk to the president and says he wants to protect the sanctuary city status. I'm offended.
And you should be. I've got Maze Jackson in my studio right now, WVON 1690 AM. He's on every Monday, and he's a listen. He's on at 9:20 in the morning, 5:20 in the afternoon, and 11:50 at night on WVON 1690. Follow him at MazeJAC. Maze, I'm pulling my hair out because I'm starting to love you. Why don't Why don't blacks see this? Why don't blacks see that the Democrat Party wants them dependent?
I think that it's how you've been brought up, it's how you've been raised. But I'm going to tell you, Joe, I think there's awakening happening.
Really?
There is an awakening happening in this country. And I think that really Donald Trump has tapped into something that, you know, the messaging of the Democratic Party tend to be controlled by white liberals who may have alternative lifestyle choices, right? And so they want to kind of make us all move into this box. But there is not they want to make this presumed alliance. They want to put us all under this banner, people of color.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, my good friend Juan Rangel talks about the presumed alliance. So because we have melanin in our skin, the issues for black people and the issues for Latinos are not the same. And so as we're looking at this situation and we look at what's going on in this fight and what Donald Trump is talking about, you know, black people have a choice to make. And quite frankly, a lot of them are suggesting that the wall should be built.
So straight poop here. Your average listener every Monday, your average listener, what do they think of Donald Trump?
No lie. The average listener, I would tell you, would quietly, I would tell you they voted for Hillary, but I would tell you that they're quietly hoping that he is successful. I got off the elevator today and I was talking about this same issue, and a black judge pulled me to the side and he was like, I wanted to call in. I wanted to call in so bad. I said, Judge, let me do it. Let me do it. Because the fact of the matter is, Joe, we know in our community who is displacing us, right? It's not that we don't want to do the jobs. It is that we don't want to do it for the rate. And who wants to deal with a loudmouth, maybe a little testy black guy when they can take a guy who's going to take less money and not give you any drama, right? The narrative of the scary black male works to the benefit of the immigrant, right? The people that are here not legally. So all I am suggesting, Joe, is that most black people that I talk to see a path forward with Trump. They won't say it out loud.
It's fascinating. Could he have their vote in 4 years?
I think that if President Trump if he keeps doing what he's doing, and he keeps the promises, and if he does what he says, and the blacks, as he calls them, are going to love him, then I think that I'm not going to say that they're going to turn out overwhelming, but you might see him get a spike in the turnout.
Wow. Hey, that voice, that great voice, belongs to Maze Jackson. He's in the studio with me right now. He's a black man. I'm a white man. This is Black and White. Maze is with WVON, 1190 AM in Chicago.
1690.
1690. Thank you. 1690. Catch him every Monday, 9:20 in the morning, 5:20 in the afternoon, and 11:30 at night. We're coming right back with Maze Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in the studio. Joe Walsh, this is a great conversation. Great conversation. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate the opportunity.
You are good. He's good, Eric.
Yes, let's turn.
Let's
turn both mics off. He's not a radio guy. He does radio.
Okay, what's up? You know what? We're gonna have to come back to this. You might have to come on my Facebook page. I am broadcasting Facebook Live, so my followers are watching this live as it's occurring.
That's really
cool. It works out pretty well for us. It drives a lot of our additional. I get a lot of good ad revenue from it.
Good for you, Maze. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now as well.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing. Oh, and then of course the screen cuts in and out. But yeah, so people are watching there. I don't know if it's got the number. When we stream on YouTube, it actually have the number up there of how many people are watching.
We're streaming on Facebook up there.
Streaming this half hour on Facebook as well. So,
cool.
No, okay. So Aaron Travis says Trump will not have the black vote with Bannon in the office.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arlene says the internet also allowed forgotten promises and events to live forever. No longer can cheap promises be given and those politicians not live up to what they say. Yeah, see, I think that what's happening is the world is converging, and I think that I think that what you saw with Donald Trump was this use of social media to subvert the media and being able to deliver your message directly to your listening audience. And so I think that the Democratic Party has not... I watch all the Meet the Press shows and everything, and they're still like in fucking shock. Like, I mean, he's not supposed to do that. And it's like the rules are the rules until they're not the rules. And that's where we're at right now. And I think that, again, no one, and I'm going to keep on stoking it, but no Democrats want me to keep saying, hey guys, the black people do not need to run into the middle of this immigrant fight. Let's walk down the hill. Hey, that's not our fight. What day did anybody stand in the line with us with Laquan? Who are our allies? And it tends to be that when we make an alliance, the alliance benefits the other person and they step up and look back. Latinos are not trying to ally themselves with blacks. If they were, after everything that Donald Trump said, right? Yeah. How does he get 1/4 of the Latino women and 1/3 of the Latino men, right? Because they have a choice. And so what black people have to start, what we have to do is keep pushing the concept of choice. See, we've always been told we don't have a choice. You don't have a choice because the boogeyman. Now, if black people survive after Donald Trump, there's no more boogeyman. Right. Now what?
That's a pretty cool way to put it. Would blacks have gotten more excited about Bernie Sanders?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that Hillary Clinton, they killed Hillary Clinton in the primary. When you saw him coming from the left, I think that Donald Trump is the same thing that Bernie Sanders. Donald Trump is the same thing from the right as the left. That people are just tired of bullshit and all of the partisan politics and nothing getting done. And so they're like, just throw the whole shit out the window. Yeah. Throw it all out the window.
This next segment here, I'm going to get some just kind of like B-roll type kind of footage. So just ignore me, but I'll float around for a couple minutes at the beginning.
Hey guys, and thanks for the extra good treatment. You know what I mean? I appreciate the car service. I would have drove, but I'll take the car service. What's up, everybody out there? I appreciate you. Bob Israel, True Squad on deck. Who told me? Jeff Coleman told me to tell you hello. Jeffrey, he said, what up? What up? Juan Rangel, what's up, my man?
Both of them. That's you. That's why I came in here, because I was like, we got and so when you're done, turn both off. 2 mics. I'm going to double check your work, so don't worry.
I will, Ronald.
Because I know you're Joe Walsh.
What's up, Gene Simmons? What's up, Freddie Baez? Shout out to Bob Israel, Aaron Travis. There is no okie doke, Aaron. You know that we've been getting scammed, man. We've been getting scammed. What's up, Al Stevens? Shout out to the big security man in the world, Alexander Grover.
Because this one I would need to reset like 2 or 3 minutes.
During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think.
What's up, Chauncey? What's up, Terry Winston? What's up, Henry McGee? Reggie Johns. How about the guy? I'm from Bolingbrook, and the guy who runs the station. Who's the boss?
Jeff Reedman. You met Marcus Brown.
Marcus Brown. The program. He's from Bolingbrook.
Yeah.
You guys need some black conservatives.
Hey, Joe Walsh. Boom, 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 boom. Former Congressman Joe Walsh. It's black and white. I don't know how this is working. I hope it sounds good. I got one hell of a guy in the studio. I'm a white guy. Maze Jackson is a black guy, and we're just talking about a couple things. Maze is also a radio guy. You can catch him on WVON every Monday, 1690 a.m. in Chicago. Monday mornings at 9:20, afternoons at 5:20, and evenings at 11:50. Listen to Maze Jackson. He's got some truth to say. He's got some good stuff to talk about it. We're just batting back and forth ideas between blacks and whites. Maze, let me throw this. Yeah. I'm skeptical. I want to know what Republicans can do to get blacks to vote for them, and I keep thinking blacks have grown so used to this dependency. If Joe Walsh comes into the black community and I say, I'm not going to give you a damn thing, black America. I want you to be free and independent. I don't want you to be dependent. They're not going to vote for me.
But Joe, I think that you got to talk about how do you get there, right? I think that it's easy to say, hey, I'm not going to give you anything. I want you to be free and independent. But I'm suggesting that, first of all, there's a process. And I know you're smart enough to recognize that if you've been taught dependency for, years and years and years and years. You've got to identify some success stories. You've got to find some champions in the community that are going to be honest brokers, that are going to talk honestly about what the issues are.
Yeah.
How do we address those issues to move us forward? What has been built over the last few centuries is not going to be dismantled in a day. So what you've got to do is start to connect the dots, right? So here we've got a situation where black people are migrating. We've got a perfect opportunity. Black people are migrating to the south suburbs of Chicago at a rapid clip as the mayor and as our city becomes more wealthy, they're being pushed to the south suburbs. Why not take all of those jobs and opportunities? You're talking about right to work. Why not create some right to work zones in places like Harvey, in Dixmoor, in Dalton that have been destroyed? Allow the people in those communities to participate in the rebuilding of their community. And then as they participate, because you connect them to all these fake training programs that every time someone wants to talk to black people or get black votes, the union says, well, we'll have a training program. And then it's again another dependency program as compared to saying, rebuild your own community. And then as I rebuild my own community, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm going to be pissed when somebody throws trash out. I built that road. I built that community. So I really think that we've got to start talking about some solutions. It's not going to happen in a day.
Guys like the Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Maze, please tell me they're done. Please tell me that blacks your age and younger are no longer listening to that tendency crap.
So let me start here.
And I apologize.
No, you do you. So let me start here. Let me start by giving Reverend Jackson, Dr. King, Harold Washington, all of the leaders in our community props for what they achieved and accomplished. I am going to suggest that we need to start to move forward. I don't have to diss those guys. I want to give them their props, and I want them to kind of step back and advise and provide some insight so we can learn from what they've done. But I do think that the time of black people just expecting that we're going to get something is over.
You think it's over?
I think it's, no, I mean, we know it's over. You don't get anything. Look at our communities. So what I am suggesting is, what I want is a fair opportunity to compete, recognizing that as a black person, I'm going to have to run faster. I'm going to have to jump higher, and I'm going to have to work harder, not complain about that, and then use that to participate to rebuild our own communities.
America is no longer a racist country. There's racism, right, Maze? But we are not fundamentally any more a racist country, are we?
I don't think we're more racist than we've been. I think we're able to see it because we're able to see it in live, on video, etc. I believe that race still matters. And I would be wrong to tell you that I think we should ignore race. I think that it is part of what makes us great, right? Which is, I am proud to be black and I am proud of my heritage. I want to then talk about what my legacy will be. And so what we want to do is participate and have a legacy that is not always the story of, oh my God, somebody rolled a basketball out and he saved us from, and there was this white Jesus that came and saved the black people. Let me just suggest that black people are some of the most ingenuitive, creative. We survive and thrive through the worst of times.
And in fact, you thrived and really kicked. But I believe the black community did a hell of a lot more before all this welfare stuff that started in the 60s. The black community on the south side, the business community, there were black entrepreneurs, Maze, you know, before all this dependency. You guys thrived. There were communities that were thriving down there.
Let me suggest this. Let me suggest that black people need to start to become. Let me go back. This is really not politically correct.
I love him.
But what we know is that there was a time when black people knew how to work with their hands.
Bingo.
And they used the ability to work with their hands to create opportunities that allowed them to work with their minds, right? Yeah. I think that as we migrated from the South and and those old seniors that were able to work with their hands said, I'm going to send my child to college and my child is never going to have to work hard like I had to work hard. We kind of lost a little something in there, right? And so now all of these people and we sent our people because we were so helped by social services. Most black people don't go to school for finance, right? They don't go for economics. They go to school to find out, to be a service, to be a teacher, because those people were so impactful in their lives, right? And because we don't see finance guys riding through the neighborhood. And so as those are the first places to get cut, we get hurt the most. So I'm suggesting that we just want the opportunity. We got to stop talking social and we got to start talking economics.
Love him. Maze Jackson. I mean, speaking some great truth here. WVON. Check him out every Monday, 1690 a.m. in Chicago. Maze Jackson. Follow him on Twitter at MazeJac. Let's do this again, Maze. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. It was a pleasure being here.
He's good. Eric, I like him. I like Maze. Interesting stuff.
Derek, you sound crazy, bro. I ain't never disrespect the elders. You heard me say about we have to give them their props and then we have to move on, right? Never disrespect the elders. You'll never give me... Man, I know what Jesse Jackson did, brother. Don't do that to me. All right, it's your man, Maze Jackson. Joe, say something to the people.
That was good. Maze was good. Outstanding. And you were right about giving our elders their props.
Right, there it is. All right, we out of here. Peace.